opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. So here we are, another Sunday, and I know for each one here that they are completely open and ready to receive all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge, all of the experience that Reverend Michelle brings to this meeting. That she is here to help us to ascend to a higher level of knowing, a higher level of consciousness, so that the Center for Spiritual Living is completely enriched by this Sunday, and all who come here are completely enriched by this experience. So I know for each one here that joy, happiness, peace is present. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Princeton. We are a loving, healing, and inclusive community which teaches and practices the principles of the science of mind for the well-being and spiritual growth of ourselves and the world.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yeah, we need that. This is what we do every Sunday, and we are very fortunate to have this place to come to on a Sunday morning. And today we're really fortunate because we have Reverend Michelle Wadleigh speaking. And she's always
Bravo!
Yay!
Bravo!
I always find myself going home really inspired when I listen to Reverend Michelle's talk. Next Sunday, Susan Neat, our practitioner, will be speaking, and she'll be speaking on the topic, The Art of the Sacred. And she'll follow her talk by facilitating a free workshop on creating a personal sacred agreement. And the workshop will end at about 12:45, 12:50. Every Wednesday at noon, there's a peace meditation online. Look for it on our Facebook page. The Zoom link is there. If you haven't, it's 15 minutes long, right? Please come and join us. The more of us who develop a consciousness of peace, the more we bring peace to the world. And thinking ahead, our annual giving tree is going to be December 14th. So save the date. We have some wonderful things coming up. Thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you. Bravo!
Everywhere I am is holy ground, for I walk in love. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy. Gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for I walk in joy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy, gentle. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for I walk in peace. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy, gentle, easy.
A little sort of joke going on here, list. The place was the floor was very sticky, and it took a little while to clean it up. Today, on the way in here, I stepped in a pool of maple syrup, so I put my own stickiness in.
It was the dog's fault.
Quick, get some pancakes.
My name is Torres. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here. And one of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit this morning is we say in the introduction that we're an inclusive community. Well, this is very true. We have people here that have all different backgrounds. I'll tell you a little bit about part of my background. One of the things that got me really interested in spirituality was back in the 70s, I was part of a Zen meditation group. And to this day, there are certain truths that I learned from that stayed with me. If something is true, it's true. It's not that we own the whole truth. We don't own every practice that there is to do. We don't own every way of approaching things. So I wanted to mention a few little things that we very much believe here that come, as I originally learned them, out of that tradition. One of them is from the sayings of the Buddha, the Dhammapada, which opens with the line, "You create the world in your mind." This is something that we very strongly believe. It's not that the entire world as we experience it day to day is created just in your individual mind, but your way of seeing the world, relating to it, how it relates to you, depends on your perspective. Another thing we talk about is there is another Buddhist scripture called Kalama Sutta, which was written in a language called Pali. It was the common language at the time of the Buddha. At that time, Sanskrit was already a dead language, but as many of the Christian churches used Latin for a long time after it was a dead language, Sanskrit was used in a lot of the liturgy. Well, Pali was the language that was spoken by the Buddha, and a lot of the writings that we know to be totally authentic were written in that language. There's one called Kalama Sutta, and I won't read it. I won't give you the whole thing. It goes through several things, but it talks about what to believe and what not to believe. And it says, don't believe something just because a lot of people believe it. Don't believe it because your elders or your priests tell it to you. Don't believe it because it's in some writing somewhere. But upon testing it and finding it to be true and useful, then believe it. And this is something. If you find something to be true that is not useful, you find something that says, there are problems of such and such a sort. Anybody can identify a problem and say, this is terrible, and so on and so on. That's not useful. But to say, this is how we can approach this and do something, turn it into something useful, reframe it. That's something that we know works very well. And a lot of our affirmations are like that. We know that when I say something, it's not necessarily absolute truth today for me, but it is absolute truth about the way things really work. We know that affirmations, affirmative prayer actually works. And we've all experienced, or many of us have experienced that repeatedly. let's see, there was something else I was going to say, but I've forgotten. It doesn't matter. so apparently apparently I wasn't meant to say it today. That's what it is. There's also a Pali text that is called Metta Sutta, which we have, which says in essence, we wish for everybody to be happy, everybody to be healthy, everybody to be well, everybody to be prosperous, and so on. And you would apply that, first of all, to yourself, and then to somebody that you just barely know, and then to somebody that you maybe don't really like very much. But you find that if you keep saying this and you keep believing it, sooner or later you realize that that person that you might not like very much is just another manifestation of the sacred of the spirit in this earth. So to know that this is true, and to know that everything is worthy of love and compassion, everything. Another line from that is that each living being should be treated as if it were your mother or father or your only child. That even if this is, that there's somebody from another country, another religion, another whatever, it doesn't matter. You are instructed to teach love, and love is something that is universal. It's not something that, oh, it's inconvenient today, or I don't like what that person's politics, or that person's, that they speak with a strange accent, or whatever it may be. So, again, we are inclusive. We don't care what your background is. We care that you're seeking truth, that you have found certain things to be true, and that you're willing to speak your truth. At least we hope you're willing to speak your truth. You may be shy, but I'm pretty shy.
You're shy there?
You hadn't noticed? Anyway, so in that spirit, I wanted to do a treatment, and we very much believe in the oneness of everything, all of creation, there's one creative power, one creative force, and that is knowable by everybody. Everybody can access it, everybody can use it if they choose to. So in that spirit, I'm going to do a treatment, and okay, I'll just do the treatment. There is only one. The one is known by many names, by many people. It is known as love, truth, beauty, joy. It's known by some names that religions use: God, Allah, Brahman. But whatever name you call it, whatever characteristic of that one being, that one thing, whatever it is, you really and truly believe in, is the way it is to you right now. And to be able to relate to that one thing is to know that it lives within you, it is within everything that is alive, everything that moves and breathes on this earth. Knowing that this is true, we know that each of us embodies a spirit and is capable of accessing the power, the beauty, the joy, the love that is that spirit. Therefore, we know that each and everything that we truly believe, and I quote the Bible here, it says, when you pray, believe that you have received the thing you're praying for. You don't believe that you're going to receive it or it's going to happen later. You believe this is it now, because that one spirit is everywhere all the time and is within each of us. I know this to be true, and I know therefore that whatever we place in the law is already true, is already done, and we're grateful that it is so. And together we say,
So it is.
Thank you.
Maple syrup is also
There's a silence in the morning when the stars still linger low, and I sit here with my longing for a truth I've yet to know. Not a whisper, not a thunder, but a stillness drawing near, where the heart begins to wander and the soul begins to clear. I'm diving deep where the current runs slow, where the dreamer meets the doer and the river starts to flow. In the chamber of the heart where the seeds of wonder grow, I'm diving deep into the all I've come to know. So I'll rise with my devotion to the work and to the flame. Let the winds of pure emotion carve a truth I will not name. For the flow is ever guiding, like a river knows its sea. And the art is in the finding of the love that flows to thee. I'm diving deep where the voices are still, where the quiet paints a vision and the pulse becomes tranquil. In the garden of the mind, love is shaping every hill. I'm diving deep when the world begins to feel. I'm diving deep where the voices are all still, where the quiet paints a vision and the pulse becomes the will. In the garden of the mind, love is shaping every hill. I'm diving deep, and the world begins to fill. I'm diving deep, where the world begins to fill. I'm diving deep, and the world begins to feel.
Wow.
Wow.
That was great.
Thank you. Now, it's given me the greatest pleasure to introduce the person who introduced me to this teaching,
Oh,
my first teacher.
look at the originator.
Wow.
Remember that class?
I do. It was a crazy class.
It was a
like
crazy
30
class.
people.
But it was amazing, and what I learned was amazing, and I'm still here. Reverend Michelle Wadleigh,
Thank you.
published author,
Wow.
center starter, lots of things.
Baby maker. That's the only thing.
Wow.
that
Where am I?
matters. That's all that matters. Good morning, everybody. I haven't been here in a minute, and I'm glad to be here with you. And I can't. This is so funny. I'm a little ADD. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be not distracted by the stickiness of my feet. You did a good job, Gary. Me, I don't know. Maybe. I'd like to start. So today I'm here to talk about love. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's funny because in the beginning, my ministry, and that was in the very beginning when I was serving for a little time up at Morristown, I thought the only subject I should ever really talk about is love. All shades and shadows and demonstrations and the science of it and the smoothness of it and the hard of it when sometimes it's hard. And somehow I got a little distracted. And maybe just because I felt the call to really deliver, Science of Mind, although at the heart of Science of Mind is the conversation and the teaching about love. So you're going to hear me say this a few times throughout my talk today, and I'd like you to repeat after me for this moment, please. I am the place where love resides.
I am the place where love resides.
So Gary, you are the place where love resides. You, DJ, are the place where love resides. You are the place where love resides. Think that to yourself right now. Say your name, say I am, and then say, I am the place where love resides. we could live into that and actualize that, it would change and govern as all things that we believe, of course, every belief alters our decision-making, right? Because it's our worldview, and our worldview is created out of our belief system, out of our conditioning, out of our training, and then the consciousness that's created. Is there like a lesser place?
It's universal.
It's universal. It's the all-knowing sticky
The
floor.
old scope.
Well, unlike weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. That's what it's going to be like. I'm sorry. Told you I was going to be a little distracted. Anyway, so our consciousness then creates our worldview, and our worldview is how we take in information and how we engage others through that worldview. The only job you really have, you might not realize it, is to pay attention to the consciousness and to the worldview that you've created. So, love, absolutely. Just let that sink in for a minute. What does that even mean? What does that even mean to love? Absolutely. I think it means to love without condition, to love without limit, and to love without withholding. I was driving in my car the other day. Oh, you are so adorable. Look what you're doing. I really seriously appreciate that. Bless your gigantic heart. Thank you. See, that was a lesson in receptivity on my part. Thank you.
You feel taller.
Oh, I just feel less stuck. Sorry?
You're closer to God. buddy.
I'm closer to God by a fraction of an inch. I was driving in my car the other day, and I've been doing a lot of deep work, and currently I'm listening to multiple books about the quantum world. Fascinated, absolutely fascinated. The thing about quantum, when you say that word, it immediately sounds so scientific and kind of cold. But here's the thing, it's so absolute. When you talk about quantum, it's so absolute. There's no wiggle room, you know? When you learn, and so I want you to picture this. I want you to imagine that in front of you is a large blank canvas, and I wish Robert was here today because he would relate to this. There's a large blank canvas in front of you. And I want you to imagine, and you might want to close your eyes actually to do this. I want you to imagine that every word you speak and every thought you think would be immediately translated onto the canvas before you. So, if that were so, if it was that immediate, would you change the way you speak? Would you change some of the thoughts you ponder upon? You would, wouldn't you? That's actually life. That is actually the quantum world. When we grab hold of something and we speak it into being, we are actualizing it. We are actualizing it. So, either I am the place where love resides, or I'm not. Or I'm not. And so when I was driving the car the other day, and this is the piece I was trying to get to, I was becoming aware of some places in me where I carry little like annoyances. Not many, I'm not overwhelmed by them, but I have some annoyances and some resentments. I don't like to admit this to you, but the fact is it is what it is, right? So I'm not going to stand up here and pretend that I'm something I'm not. And so when I started taking a toll, I could, even as I was taking the inventory of them, I could feel the resentment in my body. And that's one thing I think we forget sometimes. We speak about mind-body experience, we speak about thoughts and how they impact our body, but I don't think we always realize how immediate it is and how absolute that is. So if I'm hovering, my mind and my thoughts and my feelings are hovering around resentment, what does that do to my health? Drains it, absolutely, it drains it. It impacts the immunity within my body temple, totally. But if I can find a way, and this is the way I've turned this around lately, and if you happen to be a subscriber to my Substack, you saw this a while ago. I've decided that I love myself enough to not carry the resentments. I love myself enough to forgive you, because when I forgive you, guess who benefits? Me. Right. I love myself enough to take this inventory but not be attached to it. So by loving the being that I am, which is the God-ordained being that you and I were all born of, we are all ordained of the one. And you said something I wanted to refer to, Gary, I have to remember. We are all ordained by the one, about agreement. And so while agreement doesn't make something right, our collective agreement does create reality. It does create reality. So if we spend time, just like John's inviting you to do on Wednesdays, to this peace meditation, if in the day you're walking around, and I'm not going to demonstrate by stepping off my lovely platform, if during the day you're walking around and a thought that's contrary to you loving yourself comes up, it's imperative that you transform it on the spot. It's imperative that we transform it on the spot. In the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes said, God is love, and love is the self-givingness of spirit through the desire to express itself in and as creation. Let me say that again. God is love, and love is the self-givingness of spirit through the desire to express itself in and as creation. That means love isn't just a feeling. It's not simply a feeling, right? And especially it's a little odd because we say, oh, I love you. And then we say, I love IT. So there really should be some kind of, way of having other words that fit in there to describe the many ways in which we can love. Love, however, is a principle. It is a principle, and that principle heals. It heals. I want you to get that. Being in the presence of, in the consciousness of, in the reality of, heals. It is a healing principle. The more we ponder upon love, the more we are aligning ourselves with this principle that wants to heal through us. It wants to heal our relationships. It wants to heal our body temple. And you don't have to, if you just hover, it's like the first step of spiritual mind treatment. I used to, in my classes all the time, I'd have them discuss what's the most important part of treatment, just to, to get them to wake up a little bit. In truth, the first step is possibly the only step ever needed. The realization step. Because if I'm thoroughly, and those of you who have a practice of treating, practitioners and others, if you are in that first step of treatment, and you are speaking into your reality that moment, that the power and the presence and the love of the one that ebbs and flows and moves and has its being in, through, and as me, that which has created and recreates out of itself, I can't help but to immediately go, oh. If that first step of treatment doesn't move your heart and soul, you're not on it long enough. I want to say that to you too. You want to be on that first step until you physically feel almost like God bumps. Those God bumps that you get sometimes, right? The first step is the presence of acknowledging that love birthed me. Love is me. Love creates through me. Yes? Yes. Jesus said, Love one another as I have loved you. And I always have to give a disclaimer. I don't really know about this person they call Jesus. I don't really know. But I don't really care. I like the idea of him. I like the idea of him as a master teacher. I love the lessons that he has been credited with. So that's all I need. I'm not here to argue about anyone's God or anyone's master teacher. For me, that which has been appointed to him is glorious. And for me, it's all about forgiveness. Forgiveness, love. There was a third one, main thing, I can't remember.
Acceptance.
I'm not sure. But if there was a being who walked in that space, and I know this experience, and maybe some of you do too, if he walked in that consciousness so completely that just engaging someone can heal him, is that not something we should pay attention to?
Yes.
Is that not a mystical teaching, a mystical truth that we should take and ponder upon? Not as you have to sell your soul or you have to suddenly give up science and mind, but and face it, I mean, do you know the largest section in the textbook is dedicated to Jesus?
Wow.
The largest section, right? Which has always been surprising to me because I kind of always skirted it a little, to be perfectly honest. But who is this master teacher, or what he is credited with moves me. Ernest Holmes says to what Jesus said, love points the way and law makes the way possible. Love points the way and law makes the way possible. And I love the law. I love the law. I talk to some people and they consider it kind of cold. Or they also consider it cold when you say the law is impersonal. I don't feel like that's cold at all. What I feel is like, ooh, it's equally available to each and every one of us. How yummy is that? A law of love that reigns over each of us equally. Doesn't that sound good? And to the degree of our receptivity, to the degree that you're willing to say, yes, I'm willing to receive. Yes, I'm willing to actualize. Yes, I'm willing to be grown. Yes, I'm willing to be loved. Yes, I'm willing to receive. Yes, I'm willing to be prospered. Yes, I'm willing to be healthy. And stand in that state of receptivity and have principle pour itself all over us. My God, what an incredible thing. Just juicy, right? Isn't that just juicy? Love is not weak. It is not, there's nothing weak about it. As a mother of 3 sons and a grandmother, the variety, it's interesting. There are varieties of way that I sense love and I experience love. And I remember when my first granddaughter came along, I was, it's like out of my mind. And then when they told me that they were having a second child, I was mad.
Wow.
Because I thought, how am I going to have enough love for 2 of them?
Wow.
Ridiculous. Clearly ridiculous. But I was so attached to the first one. And then, of course, the third one came along. And they know they're special because they know my granddaughter, Lila. I don't know what, she said something to me the other day about, baby is my 4th grandchild, about how I wasn't going to spend as much time with them anymore. And I could hear in that moment that she needed to be reassured. And I walked up to her and I put my hands around her face and, baby doll, you're always going to be my first. You're always going to be my first granddaughter. I'm always going to love you like my life depends upon it. And I could see her just settle into that moment. There was just, you ever need that moment? Do you ever need that moment of someone looking at you and saying, man, I love you. Right, Lois? I love you. Look at somebody right now. Even if you don't know them, and tell them you love them. Honestly. Just look at them. Come on, look at somebody and tell them you love them. Not me, next to you. No, you don't want to?
Look at somebody.
Look at somebody else right now and tell them you love them. I know it sounds a little silly and you're thinking, this is uncomfortable. Get over it. Get over it, because love pours out of us. And it's our agreement in love that creates more love. And doesn't this country need love right now?
Yes.
It needs just more love. It needs all of us being that demonstrator and having this effervescent, like, surge, like the old faithful pouring from us. Meister Eckhart said, "It is a lie, any talk of God that does not comfort you." So any thought that we are separate from is a lie. Can you deny it? Yep, you can. Can you get in the way of it? Yep, you can. Can your self-doubt and your fear and your negative self-talk interrupt that conversation with Spirit, with Principle? Yep. That's our job. Our job is to get this in alignment with that which is trying to pour itself through us. Every moment, every thought, everything. Everything. The Dalai Lama says that love without compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. Wow. Quite a statement, isn't it? Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. Oh, I must be off my phone. Love is a practice. And it doesn't have to mean that you sell out yourself to try to make somebody feel good about themselves. It means you learn to love the skin you're in, so that simply by being up next to someone, they feel better about themselves. Do you ever know that experience? In the world around us, especially those of us who are in science and mind, we are frequently flanked by people that are just outside the teaching, that are a little bit cranky. You know anybody cranky? Some cranky neighbors or bosses or, cranky people that aren't really, like, they don't get it. They forgot who they were. And your job and my job, not by shoving it in their face, but your job and my job is to be so much the presence of love that you are reminded because I'm in the room, that I'm reminded because you're in the room, that you're reminded because you're in the room. I used to describe it as I used to describe consciousness like a hoop skirt. When was that?
Long time.
1800s, right? The hoop skirts. Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to guess. Okay, so those hoop skirts, think of your consciousness as that. So when you walk into the room, the skirt precedes you, right? So your consciousness precedes you. We don't have to force our consciousness to be present if we're living in it. Your family needs you. Even if you don't have a lot of family, you might say, well, I'm single. The fact is somewhere you're touching someone's life. We are all touching someone's life. I know, it's so funny. It's okay. When we walk down the street, when you pass on somebody who's walking a dog, I engage as often as I can. If nothing else, just a hello or good morning. People are hungry right now, folks. They're hungry. Ultimately, love calls us beyond our comfort zone. And that's where we get a little sticky. We don't want to, right, no pun intended. Thank you for pointing that out. It's not always easy. Doing the right thing doesn't always feel good. You know that? You remember that? Like when I was first in the movement, I thought being spiritual meant everything was going to be easy. And doing the right thing is always going to be easy. Well, it's not. sometimes it calls for tough decisions, sometimes it calls for loving boundaries. And that isn't always easy, but anytime you are practicing and actualizing self-love, you are practicing love for all. Because if I don't let you harm me, not only am I taking care of myself, I'm actually taking care of you, because then you won't create an act that you then have to regret. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Absolutely.
That's why boundaries are good.
Wow, that is so significant.
Right, you get that?
Completely healthy.
To love absolutely is to live without armor. And that's not an easy task. My teacher, my spiritual teacher, said to live a life like an open book for all the world to read.
Wow.
Which would scare the living crap out of most people, right? But when we live an undefended life, an unprotected life, we are in the presence of love. You can hand them out when you're ready, teacher. Thank you. Ernest Holmes also said the love of God is perfect in all things. It knows no opposition, it has no enemy, and it is complete within itself. This is the love that we are here to live, not partially, not conditionally, but absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, if you will, bring to mind, we're going to use that, what I handed you, in just a moment. What I'd like you to do is bring to mind right now a place in your life, which means a relationship, possibly, maybe somewhere you're struggling. Just bring it to mind right now. What I'd like you to do is bring that person, surround that person. This is going to sound very woo-woo and corny, okay? Bear with me. But I would like you to surround that person with a white light of love. Just surround them with love. What if you and I could realize that the people who can't love you simply can't love you? They don't know how. What if we let go of our demands upon them? What if instead of bitching, moaning, and complaining, we look at them compassionately and realize, oh, they just don't have it. What if we had a new mind about how they were? Can you feel how that might soften up some of those people in your lives? Because, number one, if they don't know how, stop barking up the wrong tree, number one. And number two, do you want to put your precious essence on hold, waiting for someone to catch up?
No.
Because when you do that, you're giving away your power. When you do that, you are off kilter. If I'm waiting for you to love and accept me, and I'm not doing it for myself, I'm giving away my power. And that power is the power of love as me. So do me a favor, let's read this affirmation together that I've given to you, and we're just going to read it all at the same time. I am the living expression of divine love. Love flows through me, around me, and as me. Wherever I walk, love walks. Whatever I touch, love blesses. Whoever I see through the eyes of love. Love, absolutely, is the truth of my being. So, I'm going to encourage you, especially, this is always the season where we get very conscious about gratitude and giving thanks and like all that, right? That's the season. But one thing I'm going to encourage you to do and invite you to actualize is to pay attention to the nooks and crannies of your mind where you're holding back. Where are you holding back? Where are you entertaining resentment? Where are you entertaining judgment about someone? Right. I don't know who said that, but yeah,
Politics?
yeah.
Yeah.
No amount of your resentment, and I'm gonna go with what Mary just said, which was politics. No amount of your resentment helps that situation. No amount of resentment on your part lifts it, loves it, changes it, converts it. None of it. What does is learning to walk and talk and be in the presence of love, which is the principle of life. It is that which gave us life when we were incarnated. Walk in that. That will heal and reveal and transform this climate, this political climate that we're in. Yes?
Yes.
So here's what I'd like you to do right now. Once again, go into your mind, and I want you to just contemplate someone you've been holding on to even a tiny bit. And right now, as you're listening to me, picture them and say, I choose to let go. I choose to love. I choose to free them. I choose to stand in my own power. Then see if there's another name or face that you have of someone else. And once again, let's do this again. I choose to love. I choose to release. I choose to have compassion. I choose to let them go. Because I choose to stand in my own power. Can you feel that? Can you feel the shift that happens when you become the choice of love and forgiveness and letting go? It becomes miraculous. You're a freaking miracle, is what you are. You just don't always know it. Everywhere you go, you're a miracle, walking in that vibration of love. If you could just remember it, you do have it. Remembering it is required. It is required. So, I encourage you to go forth, whether it's just this week or for the balance of this holy season, being that miracle and being that place of love. I know this for each of you. Thank you. Stand on my platform, it's all yours.
All right. All right. This is the webinar service when we pass a basket around, post donations. Those of you at home watching, wherever you're watching or watching later, you can find a donate button on our website, selfprinceton.org. Please donate. We'd like to be here as much as we can, do as much as we can. So, because after all, we're here to serve everybody. We have a little script here that I like to read. Everybody likes to read. But we do not give because God needs the gift, but because giving increases, broadens, and deepens the life of the giver. Nor shall we give from the standpoint of duty. The universe refuses to bargain with us. It has already given us everything it has, but it also has provided that the gift can only be received in fullness as it flows through us in the fullness of others.
Fun flows, a straight stream from mind divine to life's grand dream. No lack, no loss, just endless grace. infinite wealth in time and space. I think I speak, and so it grows. Love good forever flows. My thoughts are seeds, my faith is strong. Consciousness sings my well sweet song. I claim my good, I stand in right. Prosperity shines clear and bright. No fear, no doubt, just trust, just know. From source within all riches grow. Abundance flows, a sacred stream, from mind divine to life's grand dream. No lack, no loss, just boundless grace, infinite wealth in time and place.
You did that excellently.
All right, besides
You did
blessing
excellent.
this incredible basket with the consciousness of abundance and beyond, I trust that the multiplicity of this sharing pours out over into this community in the most good and glorious ways. And let us know together that the power of the presence and the love of the one is activating us right now. That the love that is moving in through and as our body temple, healing all that needs to be healed, revealing the truth of our essence, calling forth life, love, adventure, art, music, friendship, joy. Let us be the very evidence of love and principle. Let us model this possibility today and every day. Oh, because we are the place where love resides.
All right.
Yes. With a bounty of gratitude, I release this word to love, to law, and to the very awe of life itself. And so it is.
And so it is.
I said, Amen. 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 Amen.